I can show you the Chinese community. I can show you the Japanese community. I can show you Koreatown. That's a community. We don't have it. There's no such thing as black community. Go out here tomorrow and ask what's their nationality and see what they say. Colored, American, United States, Christian, Muslim, all this crazy stuff that ain't got nothing to do with nothing. But you're saying you got a community. Yeah. That's not a community. Again, education is the key. Wisdom and understanding. That's what this is. And that's why I was building with the sister back there, sharing this with her, saying, you know, talking to her about everybody goes through these things. And, you know, it's just a travel. That's it. That's really all this is. You know, we have to deal with the fifth element of hip-hop, which is the knowledge. I mean, it's hip-hop, it's R&B, it's all that stuff. What's the first four? You got B-boy, B-girl, DJ, and MCing. So you got all those elements in it. But the fifth one, everybody else does all the other four, but they leave out the fifth. You follow? And that was purposely done. So we, every year, and I got to give a shout out before I get started to Africa Bambaataa, because for 39 years, he been putting the hip-hop anniversary together. For 39 years, he been putting this together. 39 years of hip-hop and 40 years of the Zulu Nation. This is how live it's been. So we just had the anniversary, and I want to say happy anniversary, happy hip-hop anniversary. I have to say that because it's 39 years of hip-hop, brother, and 40 years of Zulu Nation. We just had from Wednesday to Sunday every year. Wednesday to Sunday, we do this every single year in New York when everybody come together. We had people that was from Australia, people that was from New Zealand, people was from Italy, people was from the UK. You had people from Japan, you had people from China. You just don't take my word for it, go to YouTube, you'll see it. Today. So I'm like, how are you complaining about driving across a bridge and wasting $30? You know what I mean? Come on, man. How you saying you hip hop? And actually, where was all the radio stations at? A brother brought that up also on Sunday. We don't just have, it ain't just about hip hop. It's about knowledge, because Sunday's the last day we have a panel discussion called the Meeting of the Minds. And in the Meeting of the Minds, we all come together and discuss the issues that's going on. And one brother stood up and said, where was Hot 97? Where was Power 99? Where did all these radio stations talking about R&B, hip hop and R&B? Where were you at? Where was the camera crew at? Where was the news at? Where? They weren't there. See what I'm saying? So don't come to me saying that you're hip-hop, because you're not, because I will rip you on this. Okay? All these things took place, and not one day of violence took place. Not one. It's not like one day of beat. What do you call that thing? The Shit Hop Awards. What's that thing they have on BET? What's the thing they call on BET? Whatever that thing is. Shit Hop, I don't know what you call it. But they have one day. And every year you will find somebody having a fight, right? Some type of violence, right? But you didn't cover what happened in New York from Wednesday to Sunday with no violence. And they was drinking there too, trust me. They were all drinking. But we have a slogan in the Zulu Nation. Come in peace or leave in pieces. And the beauty of it, it was like the police officers, there was only 2 of them there. And if you go online, you watch the line, you'll see how long it was. The police officer said, y'all don't need us here. Why are we even here? Y'all got it locked down. Zulu Nation security. This is the beauty of it. And I said I had to bring it up because no one on media was talking about that, nor were they there covering it. But I guarantee you, if it was about violence or something happened, they would have been right there with the cameras saying, look at the niggas. This is why I say to people, even in Philly, even while I'm in this place right here, to say, look, man, we got to change what our people are reading. We got to change what our people are writing. What this brother's doing right here on the radio, it needs to be supported on WRD. You know, I'm not here to condemn, and like I say, I'm not here to condemn. I'm here to say, look, let's put up the clean glass of water against the dirty glass of water, and let the people choose. That's hip hop. You follow me? We going back to the knowledge again. Let the people choose what it is. We don't have to do too much, but as people who, like people who owns this place right here, or have a radio or TV, we have a responsibility to the public. You know what I mean? What my cousin does right here, my cousin has belts. This is what we do. This is how you change people's thinking. This is called Baylink. Baylink. I might be saying it wrong. Baylink. Right? This is a belt. Look at this. This is. But yet we go in the stores and doing. Well, what's the boys try to spend $200 on a belt? Was it 200? 350. 350 on a belt in a place that they don't even want you in. But if I say buy this belt for $20, you have a problem with me. You follow me? See how our people's thinking? It's crazy. You can get a belt like this, support your people, $20, but you go buy a $300 belt and they don't even like you in the store. We had 150 people in Atlanta. And it took me one day. When I got there, it was 150 people at this event. This is how asleep we are in Philly. 150 people. I was there one day. They said I was there. And we had 150 people in this place. See what I'm saying? Because we are in an age of information and people are waking up right now. Whether you want it or not, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. That's why I said to the brother earlier, rather it's 2 people here, it doesn't matter to me. I'm here. This is my hometown. But I'm here to shed the light on y'all. That's it. This is going to get out. Everybody going to get on YouTube and try to find it and look at it and say, wait a minute, dude, man, I like that joint. I should have been there, man. Wait a minute, when he coming back? When I come back, I want 2,000. That's what I want. See what I'm saying? But think about it for a minute. Let's look at what's happening.
No, I feel you.
It's crazy. Our people, it's like, what is wrong with us, man? And it's the media. The media plays a big part in this. A big part. Because again, the responsibility is on the program directors at the radio stations, program directors and TV producers at TV stations. They're the problem. And some people say that they want the problem fixed, but they really don't want the problem fixed. Seriously. And I push them to task, and and I'm like, listen, if you want this thing to stop, let's talk about this for a minute. Let's talk about it for a minute. So what happens is that there was a station in Detroit, and I was talking to the sister about the brother, and I said, he don't really want me to come on to a show because he knows what I'm going to say. But they'll call me radical. You follow me? It's not about radical, it's about truth. That's all I'm about. It's about truth. That's it. LA is the same way. When you're coming this way and trying to shed the light on people, they don't want it. They say they want it before this, even in Philadelphia. I'm from here. They say the same thing, we want it, but when the real truth comes, like Lauryn Hill said, they turn, they don't want to hear it. But I'm going to challenge all of them, down to attorneys, down to the police, down to every last one of them, because they're all lying to people. Even these cats that call themselves hip-hop. All of them. We got to change it. We got to change it. Because I told her, I don't want to hear about it again. Where she got shot at, what caused that? See what I'm saying? What caused the sister that got killed, that was in Wayne State University? She was kidnapped and killed. See what I'm saying? They lost it. What happened? From the food that we're eating, the music that we listen to, brother, can you tell me quiet down a little bit, bro? Can you tell me quiet down? You know, it's from the food that we eat, the stuff that we're watching on TV, and the music that we listen to. Look, everything has a vibration. Yeah, she's still here. They're talking about nothing. She need to come up here and sit down.
Talking loud, they said that.
Yeah, she need to come up here and sit down for a minute and then really get her head right. Because she keeps going back to Camden. That's the problem. See what I'm saying? She's saying, oh, I'm from Camden. It was bad there. It was this. I'm like, I'm from South Philly. It's the same thing. It's the same exact thing. It's nothing different. Everybody has their issues and their struggles and their fights. But again, like the most honorable Elijah Muhammad said, you don't have to condemn a dirty glass of water, so they clean it up beside it. That's hip-hop. You follow me? So in hip-hop, what do? You challenge, they challenge. See what I'm saying? And let the people choose. This is why I even call your show. Because I don't hear that on WRD anymore. I don't hear nobody saying anything on it like that. I'm being real. And I hear that. I travel to a lot of stations. I don't hear that. That's all I'm hearing is the brothers having their pants sagging. Or then, brother, why don't you create a pair of pants with underwear connected to it and stop complaining? We can solve that problem, right? Wouldn't that be better? Then, you know what I mean? To condemn them? Because the one who condemns is the one who loses. So why don't you create a pair of pants and underwear connected? Maybe you might do it. My cousin might do it because he's sitting there in his head like, I think I might do that. I just want 20%, that's all. But anyway, have the underwear connected, and you think they won't sell? I guarantee you they sell. I bet. See what I'm saying? So the thing is that we have to show them and lead by example. These radio stations are about profit. That's what radio really is about. It's about profit. This is why my show is totally different. When I see people, there was a brother at the hip hop anniversary from the UK and told me he saw my stuff out there, he watched it. I was like, what, in the UK? This is crazy. He said, we need this out here. We need this. And all this stuff right here is getting ready to get shut down. That's why I was just talking about this guy's name. What is his name? Gotti?
Yeah.
Gotti? Why ain't got a name like Nat Turner? Marcus Garvey? Noble Drew Ali? Think about it. Change the people's thinking. When they see them, they think so-called gangsters. You never lived a gangster life. Come on, look at the poison they putting out there with people. This is why we have to shift them. They say we can't change their minds, we're going to shift them. So what we got to do is come in and teach people.
Different alternatives.
Different alternatives. But we got to, again, put the clean glass up against the dirty glass and let the people choose themselves. That's it. Now, I got something for somebody, right? If anybody can tell me, this is actually a shirt that the Marleys was giving out at the event, 40th anniversary of hip hop. This shirt says peace, love, unity, and having fun. That's hip hop, right? Universal Zulu Nation. If somebody can tell me what's the name of this country, they can get this shirt.
The name of which country?
This country we're in right
shirt?
now. Not on here. I said this country here that we're in right now. You follow me?
It's an independent state.
No, it's not even that it's independent. Every state is a country amongst themselves.
Yeah.
And that's what Congress call them.
Right.
They're not, it's not the United States. No one says the United States. It's called Pennsylvania. How? What am I talking about?
United States.
Come together. They wasn't states until the 1700s.
Yeah, they were individual
colonies.
Right.
Yeah.
Every state was a country. Pennsylvania has its own flag.
It's like Italy, France, and all that.
Exactly. Pennsylvania has its own flag. The blue canvas with the two horses on it. And then they got the red, white, and blue. We call them states. It just means state of mind. But that's the country right there with that. And everywhere it flies and it does the same thing. Boom, boom. California has the bear, which is the country. Then you have the red, white, and blue. The six red stripes represents Ireland, Scotland, France, Britain, Germany, and Holland. 6 European nations. That's what it represents. And blacks is not in there at all. You're not in there. Don't have them. Ireland, Scotland, France, Britain, Germany, and Holland. 6 European nations. So when we fly it, it ain't yours. It's theirs. And they know that. But the country is called Pennsylvania. The country is called California. The country is called Jersey. That is the country. And there's a book by this guy, and I don't know why it's not in here. It's called A Country with No Name by Sebastian de Garcia. And then no one says that they're United Statians at all. Do they? Nobody says that, right? Well, when they say what do they say on TV?
Americans.
They say what? The country, America, the country. Don't they say that a lot? Think about it for me. Even on Word, they say the same thing. I heard them say that.
Absolutely.
They say, I'm like, wait a minute. You're saying you got a degree in what? And you're over here telling people, and this again? This is why we have the problems that we have. You follow me?
But they don't teach that in political science.
They do teach that in school. I do remember that in school.
Oh yeah.
Yes, you
I
can
must
pick
have
up
missed that
you can
class.
pick up
But the language is different.
But that's why you gotta understand language.
Yeah, because
And understand diction.
when you understand the difference with the states and what the states actually mean, then you understand that states are countries.
Every state
They
has
don't
its own-
teach you that though. Like
They do teach it if you really get into it. They do teach you. They teach it. But it's what you were paying attention to in school.
Yeah, you gotta apply it. Like when they tell you about the city states, and you could recognize it, but it's no one overtly saying like, "Yo, this is a keep going."
But listen.
We go to a situation where we're a civilization that focuses on norms, and what becomes the norm is what we go with, and not necessarily the law.
And do with what? And how did that happen? Media again.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying? It's right back to media again. This is what they don't want on the TV or the radio, because it'll make you start thinking. This is a book over there called The Miseducation of the Negro by George G. James, I think. No, Carter G. Woodson. He said, the Negro should know the laws of the land and the interpretations of the court, not because he want to go into the system, but everyone should know. A gentleman should know. He said that in his book. That book is written in the 1920s. So why don't we know? John Henry Clark said, if a man don't treat you right, he gonna teach you right. Remember, teachers teach and do the will good. Kings and ruler never understood. See how it was? It was in hip-hop at the time, but now you don't have that anymore. You follow me? You see how they shifting away and how I'm showing you the connection between the hip-hop and the knowledge.
So do you believe in that recent article that came out that said that there was a meeting in which the media moguls got together and created the conspiracy to turn hip hop into gangster rap from the information and from the knowledge and from the conscious era.
Yes, but the thing is that this is what I have a problem with. That somebody said this. Somebody said gangster rap. I said, well, what is gangster rap? What is it? What is gangster rap? I don't know what that is. That's another thing. What is old school hip hop? I just told you hip hop is only 39 years old. So what's old school? So do we say rock and roll is old school? Do we say jazz is old school? Do we say any of these things, right? That's old school. Do we say that? Well, Mick Jagger and I'm still in it, probably 80s now. Do we say they old school? Or what's his name? Paul McCartney and them, these cats still touring. Do we say they old school?
Call it classic rock.
Yeah, call it classic.
Thank you. And they still come, right? Again, media says that. I was with Melly Mel and Curtis Blow. We were all talking about this and how Curtis was talking about what they tell the program directors on radio. Well, that's old school. You know, no, we don't want that there because they had to get these young people's minds. They labeled it gangster rap.
They
See what I'm saying?
phrase.
Now, so and it's the ignorance of the people who are on these radio stations that don't understand hip hop because what's happening? You call the brothers on the corner gangsters. I never seen a gangster with saggy pants and white t-shirts or Timberlands. The gangsters I saw when I watched the movies wear suits, right?
Yeah.
See how they flip it? But yet the city council people, all your politicians wear suits, right?
Mm-hmm.
Remember, the devil wears Prada. But they have to put the image out there. The biggest thing I learned, man, being in California, I watched that media. And I'm watching what they were doing. I said, this is crazy. I'm sitting listening to what they're saying, what they was going to do. So I come in, I was crazy, I was radical, I'm doing this, I would start riots. That's what they told me. But I'm saying, but you're lying to people. Y'all out here saying you're going to stop the violence when you can never stop violence. You can only probably curb it, but you can't stop violence. You can curb it. If that's the case, you need to lock up all these police officers that's killing people in the street. You follow me? You need to lock them up for taking people's property without due process. See what I'm saying? So if we're talking about that, and this is what they don't want on the radio. And I had a problem with that station too, because they wasn't talking about that. But then I had to sit back and say, wait a minute. It's the money issue. It's about money. See what I'm saying? It's like, okay, if I say this, then I'm taking away from the station. See what I'm saying? But the problem is that we don't support anything. I was speaking to Eddie Griffin one day. He said he knew all about this information. He said, that's not paying my bills. That's what he said to me. Mm-hmm. He knows. They know.
Yeah, he has a stand-up where he actually went into it a little bit.
He knows. But the thing is that I've been doing it and I see it. See what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I see it and I'm like, I'm trying to part this on people and say, yo, y'all gotta understand what's going on. It's not that they don't want to say this. They can't say it because it's not bringing no money in. They understand that they have to attack the youth while they're young because their brains are like sponges. So we're going to attack them and put it in their heads. So once that's done, they ain't got to worry about anything else because they're going to repeat it.
That's why I can't get any other schools.
Yeah, but see,
yeah.
So when people say that they want change, you're supposed to come back and blast them. And the piece that what I love about radio is that I have the opportunity to do it. It ain't just in one spot. I have the opportunity, and I call out these politicians because I know what you're doing and I know how you're lying. See what I'm saying? So the thing is that I don't need to go into school. I'm going to go to Wayne State University. That's where I'm going to go. I go to the 22nd. I speak there. I got their attention already. So I don't need you to come and tell me or block me from doing anything. I know what my job is. We are in the information age right now. And it's going to come out regardless. Regardless, rather I shut up or not, it's coming. But we got to shift it. Even though what my cousin does, he does photography. I look at his stuff, but he's changing image. That's media. People understand that's media. Because it's the image that people are seeing. They see that image. See what I'm saying? If you want to sag, then let's sag with these on. You know what I mean? Follow me? And that's advertisement. If we're going to sag, have the belt on and sag with the belt. But what that's going to do is say, what is that? Now the starts going to ask questions. What is that value? What is that thing on there? And then what he does, it go directly in and explain what it is. And that's when he's bringing them back to the nationality. See how it works? Okay. Everything has a purpose. But you got to do it. This is what you have to do. And that's how I found the niche of dealing with radio. By doing that. By dealing with edutainment. Not edutainment, not entertainment. Edu. And show the comparison between the two. And that's how we're going to have to change it. And this is why I love what Africa Bambaataa has been doing for 39 years. What we did. Somebody hit me on Facebook the other day and said, well, how could you say that this is real hip-hop when you have Ice Cube there and Ice-T there talking gangster rap? And I had to hit him real quick because I don't go back and forth. I said, come to BlackandNobel and then ask that question on camera. Because I'm not going to go back and forth with you on Facebook to explain this to you. I said, what he's doing, that's where our people are at. So when you get there, then you step in and then you do your part. See what I'm saying? You go, let them do what they do, but then you come behind and then you explain, this is what this is. Because our people don't want to hear this consciousness. They don't want to hear it. They want to hear Power 99. They want to hear Nicki Minaj. No disrespect to it, but...
It's seductive.
Huh?
Seductive.
Exactly. They don't, you know, this is where we at with our children. This is why I say I will come in, but I will talk about something different. I could talk about my life all day long. I could talk about how many times I've been shot. What difference does it make? I don't want to keep bringing the energy around. See what I'm saying? We have to change it. In media, this thing right here, what he do, what you do in the school, and what this brother do. We have to change it. We don't even know what law is. We don't even know that. I'm in California, they telling me crossing the street was jaywalking. I had to actually literally go to my car, open up the book and say, do I look like I'm incompetent to walk? That's what it actually says. It's incapable of walking. That's what it says. Do it look like I'm incapable of walking? No, so how can I be jaywalking? You follow me? This is what the fifth element of hip hop was about. It was about the knowledge. That's what it was. So what happens? They said, wait a minute, we got to stop that. With these dudes, with these types of medallions on, remember they used to rock them, and we're going to give them this over here. Again, no disrespect to the gold. No disrespect because it's yours, if you understood it and know how to use it. But the key is that we have to start bringing these things back out to ask people ask questions. What is that? What do you got on? What is that? More Europeans know what I have on than our own people. They think it's costume jewelry. I'm dead serious. I'm in California, certain places, they saying, I like your stones, I like your copper, you know that, and they running the whole thing down to me. I'm like, wow, you know about that? Yeah. Get to our people, what kind of costume is that? What is that? Like, this is what they asked me, literally. Literally, they asked me this. I'm like, no, it's an energy. I said, how do you start your car? With jumper cables, right? You got copper on it, right? This works with my melanin. So I'm going into this with our people to explain this to them, to show them the connection, the energy. We got to understand this. We got to teach our people this, teach the youth this. We have to teach the youth, man. Seriously. And going back again to the law. The law is the law. The law is the Constitution. And Dave, you should have a section on it too, on your show.
You should do it.
I would love to do that. We would do a whole hour on that, brother.
We can do that.
Do a whole hour on what the law really is. And listen, and put out a call to all attorneys.
You should do that.
Let's do it. I'll be like, let's put out a call to all these attorneys who think they knew the law.
That's right.
And let's have a dialogue. You want to stop the violence in where you at? Then let's talk about this over here then. Let's talk about how you can't take somebody's car without due process. People don't even know that.
But aren't lawyers agents of the state just like politicians?
Yeah, I had one in my class in L.A. She had actually, this sister that comes to my class in L.A., she has a Juris Doctorate. She's in law school. She just actually sat in my class and said, I'm not going to be able to study anything tonight. I'm going to go study this now. This is what she said. Now, Juris Doctorate, you can go anywhere and deal with law. But the thing is that these cats get money to keep you asleep. They get paid to keep you asleep. These are not lawyers. I keep telling them, I'm going to repeat it again. They are not lawyers. They are attorneys. An attorney means to turn over or to transfer over. A term. It's a Latin term. It means to transfer you over to someone else. That's all it is. That's it. A lawyer is just somebody that's versed in the law. That's it. So I am a lawyer. And you don't need a license to do that. Because that's a privilege. And that's why I used to want to challenge these attorneys on a platform and say, listen, if you think you're dealing with law, then let's deal with law then. Let's help our people. This is what we're supposed to be teaching our people. Everybody. I just told you what Carter G. Woodson said. Everybody's supposed to know the law. Everybody. Ain't no this particular group of people supposed to have. You're supposed to know the Constitution, because that's the only law. The Constitution. The Constitution said you can't take property without due process. What does that mean? If you take my property, you have to compensate me. See what I'm saying? If you take it, you have to have a jury of repairs, or you have to compensate me when you do it. Now I ask y'all, are they doing that to anybody here?
No.
No, right?
Eminent domain.
There's no such thing. You can't even have eminent domain because this is not your land. See what I'm saying? See the history? You don't know who you are. This is not your land, so you cannot have eminent domain anywhere. I used to go to the airport, talk to the TSA. They would say, well, I'll be like, wait a minute, hold, Homeland Security. But you got to go home to have Homeland Security. This is not your homeland. And they look at me like our people look at me like I'm crazy. It'd be like 5 of them at the airport. You know, when I get there early, I have fun. All day long, I joke. All day long, I have them standing there. Well, do you want to go into TSA? Not a problem. If I got the time, I go. But if I ain't got the time, I'm not. But I'm going to explain something to you. You have to hold home to have homeland security. This is not your homeland. And we keep thinking because we've been taught that we were brought here as slaves, and we was enslaved, and they educated you, and slaves couldn't read, which is another stupid thing, because we couldn't read the way they read. I asked any of y'all in this room, can you read music? Can any of y'all read music?
I don't.
All right, then you can't read. See? Can you read Amharic?
No.
Then you can't read. You follow me?
Yeah.
But hieroglyphics, actually, that's graffiti and all that. That's artwork. See what I'm saying? But follow me what they said about the slave thing. They said slaves couldn't read. That's what they say. Right? They say blacks, right? Our people say the same thing, right? They say blacks can't read. They said the slaves could not read. That's what they say. And you got people that look like you and I that say the exact same thing. Or the slaves couldn't read. What? No, we couldn't read what they wrote. They can't read music, some people. Some people can't read Amharic. You can't read certain things, so they can't read neither then. But see how they flipped it? But yet we sit back as victims. So now somebody else is taking your birthright, taking your land and everything else, because you thinking you coming from somewhere else. That's the greatest trick in the world.
Yeah.
And these politicians, some of them know this. I know because they're in the Masonic Lodge. We know they know. This information is not new. All this information has been out here. We've been telling people this for years that this stuff is going on. But again, whoever controls the media controls the minds of the masses of people. Whoever controls the media controls the minds of the masses of the people. And that is what's happening. That's what's going on. That's through radio and TV. You already know what's happening. This is why I had to go back to radio and say, look, I got to go back and deal with this. Because I see that they ain't saying nothing. I walked away from radio for like, when I left WRD, I don't know how long that's been. It's been like 4 or 5 years. Might have been longer. I left. But I had to go back and gain audience of people and say, look, this is what this is. Now it's time to teach. We are in the information age right now. And we have to know the law. Tell everybody to go do this one. Go to any attorney's office and ask them to let you see their license to be a lawyer. I'm going to repeat that again. Go to any attorney's office and ask them to let you see their license to be a lawyer. I didn't say attorney. A lawyer. They have a license to practice law as an attorney. That's what it says. That's what their license says. Don't say anything about lawyer. It says license to be an attorney. Under corpus juris secundum, which is the body of law, tell you the difference. And I'm going to repeat that. Corpus juris secundum, which is the body of law, tells you that the attorney is attorney in fact and attorney at law. So if you're in the law, you're in the law, and you're at the law. Like being at the door. You're not in it. You're at it. Like I'm standing at the door. But I'm in the door? No, I'm not. See the difference? But there's a definition in fact or in that law. There's two total different things there. People got to pay attention. Language is key. That's number one. Language is the number one key to everything that's going on. But if I'm the only one that knows it, I'm a sorcerer. I got the keys. I got everything. You ain't got it. This is why they can do what they want to do to you. This is what is happening. This is what they're supposed to be teaching. You want to fix the problems? You want to fix the violence and fix the problems? Let's talk about that for a minute. Let's talk about it. That's all. Two types of due processes in the Constitution. It talks about compensation if you take property. The other one don't. I think it's the 5th or the 4th and the 14th Amendment.
Talking about the media and its effect, and I was at a symposium and they was talking about the relationship between Jews and blacks. And so at the end of the session, I asked the Jewish person who was this specialist on Jewish relations, and I said, well, it's well known that Jewish people community were in control of Hollywood, and if they were in control of Hollywood, then that means that they were the biggest perpetrators of a negative portrayal of blacks, you know, through the imagery of blacks. And she was trying to explain that they don't control Hollywood anymore, though.
They don't. I mean, if people think they do, they really don't. Right. It's not about that anymore.
But they did.
But they did. But the thing is that, okay, it's over with. So what are we going to do?
No, it's over with. I would literally say that it's over with because they still portray blacks in a negative image. But my thing is, if they were the biggest perpetrators, then they are responsible, whole responsibility for creating such an atmosphere towards Africans born here in America.
Okay, there's a book called Coon, Shines, and Mulattoes, a book. Then Michael Cully and we was talking about this book, Coon, Shines, and Mulattoes. You don't have to take those roles if you don't want to. Just like today, we take roles and take things and do things because we want to be a part of it, because we think we're getting somewhere. You don't have to take it. It's stuff that was given to me out there. I said, no, I don't want to because it's negative. Follow me? I'm not here to condemn Tyler Perry. I'm not here to condemn any of these people. None of them. Why? Because the people. Yes, brother.
No, it's all right. When you finish the point, can I get the name of that book
I will.
again?
But the people have to get behind. I can't knock Tyler Perry because you're not doing anything to help. If I said, yo, we need 10,000, 20,000, 30,000 to do a film, can we get it? So I'm not here to do that. They told Tyler Perry, Lionsgate, if you put up half the money, and we'll put up the other half. So he went to his constituents, which is the church, and they gave him half the money, and he put up the other half of the money. So why don't we do the same thing instead of complaining about the butler, or instead of complaining about 12 Years a Slave, or instead of complaining about Django? Where's your money at? Stop talking. That's the problem. We talk too much. We talk too much. As soon as we say let's do it, then everybody runs. You follow me? Oh, I want to get on here and say this, and we doing. No, I don't want to hear about it. I just want to go see 12 Years a Slave. Good movie. Brilliant movie. But it was a message in the movie. I got the book right here. The book is here. This is the book. And actually went and bought the book after I saw it. After I gave him my $13. And then went and bought the book. But the movie was brilliant. Why? Because the movie was talking about jurisdiction, fugitive slave laws, paperwork. All this was in the movie. Where was he? They got him drunk and sold him. Paul Mooney had a skit in 2007 called Jesus is Black. And I played the skit on my radio show. And he said, they tried to give him a drink. And he said, I don't drink anymore. I'm on a wagon. He said, that's the problem. They get niggas drunk and they sell them. He said, I'm from New York. What I'm doing in Georgia. This is what he said. This is in 2007 he said this. But in the movie it was the same thing. Right. Dude got drunk, winded up in D.C. And he was from New York, but he woke up a slave. See what I'm saying? That was the comparison. Now, he said this in 2007. I'm like, people ain't catching this? And then he was telling the people that he was free. Now, this is 1814. Now, if you listen to the black leaders out here, they'll tell you, we got out of slavery when?
1865.
1865, right?
Yeah.
Ain't that a big gap from 1865, 1814? That's a large gap, ain't it? He was free in 1814. So where you get 1865 at? So somebody was free there. So they was asking him, number one, where's your paperwork at? That's what they said to him. They said he was free. Now I asked the question to black people, where's your paperwork at to say that you're free? Go ask the politician that question. Where's your paperwork at? Malcolm said being born here don't make you a citizen. He said having kittens in the oven don't make them biscuits. That's exactly what he said. So you being born here don't make you one. So what paperwork made you a citizen here? It's not your birth certificate. It's not your driver's license. It's not your social security card. None of that. Somebody even wanted to say passport. But passport came around 1930s. And then the passport says United States of America. So that means anywhere then, right? North, South, and Central. But where's your paperwork that says you are a citizen of X, Y, and Z? Nothing. But they do give you abbreviations on paperwork. They ask you a question, are you a U? They ask you, are you a U.S. citizen? And we say, yes. And don't even know what it means. But we say, yes. So we got to understand and start reading, man. The whole movie had a science in it through the whole movie. He told he was he said I was free. He said, no, you a nigga from Georgia. He said, you a runaway nigga from Georgia. That's what he said to the dude. He kept trying to tell the slave master he was free, but he said, you a runaway nigga from Georgia. So now, if I call my slaves black in Jersey, colored in Delaware, Negroes in Pennsylvania, and you ran, and then you answered to one of those things, I knew exactly where you was from, and I'm going to take you directly back there. You see the catch? Now watch what we do to each other. What are you? Census report had color, it had black, then it had African American on there. Go look at the old census reports. On the applications it said that. Everybody else had one. When it came to us, we were African American, black, and colored on the application. They already set it up and you don't even peep it, but we're smart, right? When I say smartphones, dumb people. But you got all these politicians talking about fixing the problem, and they are not fixing the problem because they still playing this game with our people. That's what that movie was based on. That's what I got out the movie, and it's there. And when you go see the movie, you're going to actually see what I'm talking about. It's in there. You can't buy your freedom. You take your freedom. You don't ask nobody for your name correction or your name change or whatever. You change it. We over here asking people to go change a name to get another slave name. You see what I'm saying? That's not what the Moors were doing. Noble Drew Ali said in 1920, he said, proclaim your name and nationality. That's what he was telling us to do. Proclaim. Don't go ask. Proclaim. The Emancipation Proclamation said to emancipate and proclamate. Anybody know what that means?
Separate and claim.
No. Anybody know what that means?
Emancipate and proclamate.
Yes.
To emancipate, to be free from something, and to proclamate, to proclaim.
There you go.
That's what I just said.
No, but you said a little different. But you set free. You didn't say that, what he just said. I heard you.
Right.
You didn't say that. But it's to be set free and then you proclaim.
Is it to be set free or to make yourself free?
No, you set yourself free.
Set yourself free.
And to proclaim, right? And have any politician ever came out and told us that? I'll wait. After 1865, we're going to go there, right? Have any politician came out and said this to our people?
They're not going to. Until
So
we make them.
Okay, there you go. And you can only make somebody if you're free. So now you have to also know, and you have to be on the same playing field as them. See what I'm saying? If I'm over here and you're like here, I got you all day. And this is why they don't want a person who know what they know, because now you can't get me that way. It's like, come on, it's chess. I don't even play chess, but I play life's chess. See what I'm saying? But what happens is that they'll go to the ones who don't have the light and not the ones who have the light. See what I'm saying? So I'm looking at all these people that call themselves black. Look at all this stuff on TV. Read all the bull BS and books. You're in the dark, so I'm going to control the hell out of you. I'm only going to come around when it's election time and we're going to vote and say you're going to make a change and see what happens. See what I'm saying? It's a whole game that's being played constantly. No politician came out and told us any of these things. It wasn't until Noble Drew Ali said that in 1920s. Proclaim who you are, stand and be who you are. This is yours. Nobody can't tell you who you are but you. You are what your forefathers are. Without no doubt or contradiction. That's what he said. This is why other nations look at us like we're out of our minds. And we really are. And we look like we've been hitting our head. Yeah. If you look at us. I just left some brothers from Mali yesterday. He said he don't have no American friends. I knew this dude for probably 8 years, but I just happened to run across him yesterday again, and it was 2 of them. He said, we don't have American friends. Blacks, that's what he said, American blacks. And I said, I know. I'm in LA with Ethiopians. They saying the same thing. They're saying out there that if you ever watch an Ethiopian or any person from Africa, you see them all together, don't you? You don't ever see nobody else mixed with them, do you? They're all sitting together. But you know what they say about us? We don't know who we are. That's why. And they're told, and I was in Atlanta, and it was a sister that came from Kenya and came to Atlanta, came back, and she said what they do is they take them in a room and they show them this film, about us over here. They show the women on welfare having a bunch of children. The dudes is nothing but killing each other. This is what she said. Yeah. And I said, they ain't nothing new. I know. I talked to a lot of them. They show the image and say, don't associate yourself with those blacks. That's what they say. So when they hear you speak a certain way, they say, oh, he's not black. I had many of them say this to me. How do you know so much about Mali, about Mansa Musa? How do you know about Ethiopia, the Habesha people? How do you know it? They ask me these questions. You don't talk like the average black person. You're not like them. Yes, I am like them. And I have to correct them. That is my people. See what I'm saying? Again, it's the images. So on the images, they have us over here killing each other, shooting each other, women having a bunch of babies, women, you know what I mean? Like the crazy stuff I see on World Star Hip Hop, which is insane, and we keep pushing it and promoting it. And every time we push it and promote it, they get more viewers and more money. This is what's happening.
They do the same thing vice versa with us seeing negative images of Africa.
Exactly. They do the same thing. But that's just why Karis once said, you must learn. He had a joint, and he was talking about black and white both take shorts because one don't know about the other one's culture. I told you hip-hop had a message in it. So it's the same thing when we see them, they have the image of us being that way, and then we have the image of them being that way. See what I'm saying? This is what is happening right now. So what happens when I sit with them, I build about who we are. This is who we are. I have a lot of friends in Ethiopia, but they never hear this this type of conversation because only first we're black. See what I'm saying? We're black. We were slaves. What else? We're dope dealers. We're killers. This is what's happening, right? This is what is happening every day. So now, we don't have nobody with the image of us being who, or we have to be the safe Negroes. See what I'm saying? This is how they do it. You have to be the safe Negroes. But until we start telling the truth about who we are and what is happening in the images, it ain't mine. Like I said, it's not me. If I can pull every person from every country in Africa and let them get up here and tell you this, what I'm telling y'all right now about how they look at us and we look at them. And somebody said to me, well, they got violence in Africa. Violence in Africa is because of what's happening over here. It's easy for you to do what you need to do over here. So that's why I don't condemn the brother on the corner, because I know he's sick. And as my Ethiopian sister says, she said they still in the cradle. That's what she calls it. She said they still in the crib. They still in the crib. They never got out the crib. So don't really condemn them. And I'm like, wow, she's like, and this is how they are over Ethiopia. And I'm like, this is crazy. Like she said, oh, Ethiopia, we don't carry guns. The only people who have guns is the police, and we don't have violence over there like that. See what I'm saying? So what happens if we just taught the same thing here, but they looking at us and we're looking at them.
Exactly.
See what I'm saying? But they're waiting on us over here to do something. Over here. Mm-hmm. I got off the bus yesterday, moving my bag, and I had my my gym bag, you know, my bag and my luggage, and I'm waving down a cab, and he stopped, and the guy was from West Africa, so I'm getting in the cab, and he says, I said, you wouldn't stop me if I didn't have my bag, huh? And he started laughing. He said, no, because it's very violent here, and you don't know who's who. Now I had a hoodie on, all this, dude. I'm walking with 2 bags and a backpack. He stopped, but when I sat with him, we started conversating inside the cab. And he was asking where was I from, and I'm like, I'm indigenous to this land, I'm X, Y, and Z, and da-da-da-da. And he started talking to me, telling me why. And I said, I just had this conversation with some people in Atlanta about our people here. Then I go and talk to the brothers from Mali yesterday, sitting with them, and they telling me the same thing. See what I'm saying? And they asking me, how did I know so much about their culture? Because really it's mine too. See what I'm saying? We're not different. And you have to make that connection. So when I started saying Habesha or saying the original name, he was saying, how do you know so much? That's how you strike up the conversation. But if I'm over here saying I'm black, I'm Christian, I'm Muslim, I'm this, they say, okay, we know where to target you at. We're going to put you right over here in this box right here. You're a Muslim, I'm a Christian, but I'm not going to talk to you because now we're talking religion. See what I'm saying? Or I'm not going to talk to you now because you're an African American, you're black, you don't know. I know who you are, but you know what I mean? They know. Come on. My sister just called me the other day telling me that somebody was telling, I think it was, what's that guy's name? Gates or somebody? No, it was Renoko Rashidi, that's who it was. They was telling him that Renoko Rashidi keeps saying he's African. They said, no, dude, you American. All these cats keep saying they're African Americans. Africans. No, you an American. See what I'm saying? Well, what is with this African American thing? That's 3 continents. I'm an American. I'm the true American. I'm not a United Statian. That's the difference. The definition of America is the aboriginal or copper-colored natives found on the American continent. Is a 1929 dictionary. That's who I am. He's not an American. He's a United Statian. And that's what you start challenging these politicians on and teaching our people that. And that's how you empower them. Instead of looking at the negative images about who we are. Because all the images that is pushed out on radio and TV is that, again, we're drug dealers, we're killers, we this. And that's stressful, dude. It is really stressful. Dead serious. I came back here in Philly and I was here just for a day and I lost my mind. I just imagine being here this long. I lost my mind. I'm in stores literally looking at how people treat our people. You ain't gonna never serve me anything behind a bulletproof glass. Number one. I'm dead serious. I'm in Atlanta, what was that, in Chicago. And I was trying to go in a store and had a bulletproof glass on it. I left. You ain't gonna serve me that way. You crazy? But I'm just watching. I'm on, what was I at, on 20th and Dickinson. 20th and Dickinson. I was there today, early in the morning. And I'm watching how our people are. I'm literally watching. They buying their children 7 o'clock in the morning, Danishes for 35 cents at a damn window for some Chinese people calling her mom. That ain't your mother. See what I'm saying? And then they're going to come in, and I'm looking at brothers coming in, buying 50-cent teas and 50-cent coffee, then throwing the stuff right in front of the door. I'm sitting here like, what the heck? And these ain't young people. These are older people too. And I'm watching it. Buying Lucy's, and then you buying a cigarette, and then you're going to have a chain. I got the picture on my phone. I had to take the picture and send it back home. They have a chain with a cigarette light on it, so you can light your cigarette. I said, and they did. I said, that's a disrespect. Look at what they do. You really think they would do that to their own people? No. You can tell we've been hitting our head. Come on, it's a problem. And again, I blame these books. A lot of these books, a lot of the stuff that's on radio, a lot of stuff on TV. I don't blame them. I don't blame them because they lost. Like I said, Elijah Muhammad said, you don't have to condemn the dirty glass. It's the clean one up inside the dirty glass and let the people choose. No matter how hard it is, you do that. And that's hip-hop. You battle, he battle. And then you lay it out to the people. And that's what politicians don't want. They don't want you to do that. I always open it up to politicians, say, battle with me. I don't care, let's go. We can have it out. Let's do it. You want to fix the violence? Let's go. We ain't going to stop it. We can curb it, but we can't stop it. Because violence is going to be violence. It's going to happen. As long as we got guns and everything else, it's going to be here. Unless you get rid of everybody got guns. It ain't the guns, it's the stupid person behind the gun. Seriously, because if you take the gun, you got a knife. So it's different. You follow me? If you take the gun, you got a bat. You know, if you take the gun, you got acid. My mom used to throw acid on people. I mean, that's insane. I'm like, that's acid. You know, you follow me? Like, come on, let's be realistic. Is it really the gun? Is it really the gun? Come on. Did they say anything about the bull who shot up LAX? Think about it for a minute.
Yeah, what happened to him?
But he was an was he like an off-duty TSA worker?
I don't know. I don't know the whole story. I know some of it, but I know I left that terminal that day, that same terminal. Oh, yeah. But what I'm saying is that they never said, one, it was a terroristic act, which it was, and someone got killed. They shot him in his arm or his leg or something. Wow. That's it. Yeah.
They never call it terrorism unless
never call it terrorism when it pertains to them. You go into school, you shoot up everybody. Never they just shot some. They just ran in the mall. The white boy was in there. European guy shot up in there. They didn't say it was domestic terrorism, did they?
But they said that about that brother in D.C.
There you go. They say about anybody who has a who can play. You gotta pay attention to the media.
Oh yeah.
I told you, the media can make you love your oppressor and hate the oppressed. So again, if we don't have the right people on radios and really telling it and not scared to tell it, because I could care less. I could walk away from radio and do something totally different. See what I'm saying? I care less. I'll do something else. You're going to come anyway. See what I'm saying? So why not? You can't be afraid to lose when you're already losing. Read it again. You can't be afraid to lose when you're already losing. So if you're already losing, so what the hell? You ain't got nothing else to lose. So let's go. And this is what is happening. And this is why the young brothers don't care about what you're talking about. They don't fear these people. That's why you laugh when they get locked up. They don't care about you. But they have to get those young brothers in their cells because they know that's the army. I remember Minister Farrakhan said, I got an army you see and an army that you don't see. I remember him saying that. I said, people don't even get it. The one that you don't see is the one that you call gangbangers. See what I'm saying? And people don't get it. I just told you, Zulu Nation is so large. It's insane right now. When I was there, I said, wait a minute, hold up. Japanese Zulus? Italian Zulus? People from Britain Zulus? Like, this is what I'm looking at. That night, I'm like, these people really get it. They're like, damn, they're really large. Like, damn, like Zulu Nation is everywhere. And they got the knowledge. Never forget when Bambaataa told me one of the Prince Charles' sons took a Zulu flag inside the palace. And if anybody know about that history with them and them, you know what happened with Shaka Zulu when he was fighting her. And for one of the radical one, the youngest one, you don't hear about that one too much. What's that boy's name? Williams or whatever. He's the radical one. He the one that took the flag inside in the palace. He didn't care about what they saying. This is how strong a Zulu Nation is. Let's imagine we all came together. Let's imagine if hip hop came together. Imagine if real hip hop came together, what would happen? Imagine if all these groups came together, what would happen? And that's the thing that they're afraid of. They don't want us to unify with our brothers in Africa. And they don't want us to unify over here. So they have to cause divisions wherever we at. I'm Muslim. I'm Christian. I'm Seventh-day Adventist. I'm Apostolic. So imagine if everybody came together.
They still got COINTELPRO going on.
I ain't care about no COINTELPRO. See what I'm saying? I don't even care about that. The job is to do it. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I am Zulu. I am a Moor. I am in the Nation of Islam. I'm a Christian too, but a true Christian. See what I'm saying? That's how you bring our people together. Unity is the key. And you would never see me argue with any of them out on no forefront like that. That's why I don't get into these debates. Because to me, it's stupid. It's very stupid. Because if I can sit back and pick you and say I can make you go against him and make him go against him, but I'm gonna give him 20,000, I'm gonna give you 50,000, I'm gonna give you 100,000. Now you're gonna argue with him because if I just gave this. That's how they play. Study history. And this is why I cringe when I see these debates, and I'm like, wait a minute. And I was one of the ones who really started all these debates. Was nobody debating since Sabir Bey and I. There was no debates. You can go to YouTube and look it up. But I don't get involved in it anymore. This is about unity. When Bam started Zulu Nation, he said it's peace, love, unity, and having fun. We was bringing everybody together under that umbrella. And he created the Zulu Kemetic Moors to show the connection now to the Zulus. We're all family. And that's why I said, this is why they don't want us to come together. We can stop all this. But the enemy sees it every time. So he said he's going to put this book out there. He's going to put that out there. We're going to give him this and give this one this over here. And then we're going to be arguing with each other. Don't bite the apple. And that's what I was saying earlier about people. You don't have to, Dave, like I said about in Hollywood. I don't care about what Jews are doing. They ain't running anything over here. See what I'm saying? So my thing is that you don't have to accept it. Everybody comes through life struggling. A baby struggles to come through a little hole. But what do you do when you get out of it? Everybody goes through that. But don't bite it. Don't be so quick to be a slave. And you can be high. And this is what I'm saying, going back to that 12 Years of Slave. When you watch that movie, he was drunk. And he got sold. If you watch it in hip-hop, if you watch it in entertainment, you could be high off of ego. You could be high off of sports. You could be high off of anything. It ain't just being drunk. What's happening with cats in IRS and hip-hop right now? Most of these cats in hip-hop is getting locked up. They're getting locked up for tax invasions and everything else, right? Why? Because they, number one, they're not dealing with the elements of hip-hop. What is the elements of hip-hop? The fifth element is knowledge. So have knowledge on the IRS. Let's build for a minute. They're not going to them and build on that, are they? They say, no, let me tell you what the IRS is. Let me say who's supposed to pay taxes. See what I'm saying? But they don't teach that. All of these rappers, Fat Joe, I think he's in jail right now for IRS tax evasion. I think he's in jail still now. I don't know, but all of them, Mystical, all of them. I'm watching all of them. They're all in jail for what? You got high off your own supply. That's what we call it. You got high. You got drunk, and they coming at all of you, and they see it. They see it. There's a way I can tell you how to deal with it. There's one artist that's always on tour, and I can tell you how he do it when he does his tours. He don't get nothing over $10,000. He's good. You can't say his name on tape.
Yeah.
But he's on tour.
Yeah, we know who he is.
You know what I mean? $10,000. You don't need it. If you're getting all that, then okay, that's a problem. So imagine this. This is how you can do it. $10,000 on this one, Okay, then I get 10,000 on this one. I ain't going over the 10,000, but I'm gonna make sure I make this 10,000, have a tour for this 10,000. That's being smart. No, I want 5 million. Really? Okay. Get you 5 million. Get you 5 million. No problem. We're gonna get you about 2 years later. See what I'm saying? Knowledge, man. And this is why I said I don't like when these cats is coming out here talking this hip hop and I'm hip hop and I want to get down and I want to be this. I get phone calls from here. I want to come to Hollywood. I want to be in Hollywood. What? No, you don't. You better know this game out here first before you do anything. You don't want it. You don't want that. Create your own. Get your people's support to make it happen. Let's create a Moorish Hollywood or Kemet Hollywood or something like that. Let's create that. That's where I'm heading at with it. Then I'm going to say, no, we're not going for this. Nah. Then we have a team over here. Because number one, we got the Army, the Zulus, or we have the guys on the corner that you call gangbangers, and we have, see what I'm saying? Oh, then we got the Nation of Islam over here, and if you got a problem, this is what you got to go check with these cats right here. Protocols. See what I'm saying? That's how you build this. So they can't come. But you first have to know who you are. And you first understand this law here. Understand the law that's underneath your feet. Because this is not theirs, it's yours. They did the trading places on you. Switch places on you. You think you're coming from somewhere else, so now I'm going to tax you on everything that you do. Because you're only supposed to tax foreigners. You're not supposed to tax indigenous people, because this is your forefathers' land. People got to understand this, man. And that's one of the biggest problems I have with all these politicians. All of them. Even these attorneys, you're supposed to know. You claim to have a degree in something, but you're not imparting on people unless they got $5,000. And that's why I said I was going to make it a crusade to come at all of them. Maybe they'll see this and do something. Well, Sabir's crazy. He was on a conspiracy theorist. Oh, no, let's have it out. Open floor with all this. That's why I'm at with this. Any questions?
So, how do we put this? How do we get this clean glass next to the dirty glass? We already know what the dirty glass is. It's the glass that the media sells. It's the glass that society portrays us as. It's the image. How do we sell that clean glass?
It's like, again, it's like hip hop. He does radio. He does film. He does photography. This is film right here. What we do, we push this out here to people constantly. The same way they push it, we push it non-stop. The same way they push these books, we push this information out here. See what I'm saying? That's it. It's just hip hop. That's all we got to do is keep constantly pushing. When I get interviewed, I'm going to bring something in. I'm going to do this and I'm going to say, look, this is what we need to do, and I'm going to call out these politicians. That's it. It ain't hard. It's very easy to do. That's it. Every time we go, this should be on that dinner table. If we go out to the movie, it should be talked about right here. See what I'm saying? All the time, like it's a Bible. That's it. That's all we got to do.
Like it's a way of life.
Yeah. Hip-hop is a way of life. It's a culture. Ain't that what Islam is too? It's a way of life, right? You live it. You don't always speak it, you live it, and you lead by example with things. So people can see that. No matter what people, honestly, I tell people all the time, no matter what people say about Mr. Farrakhan, I watch his examples. They may not understand what he's doing, but I watch his examples. And that's what you judge a man on their conduct. They can say what they want to say, whatever he's doing right now, or whatever. But you watch an individual and you watch how he has never been tempted on certain things. He may have been tempted, but did he fall for it? But can you do the same thing he did? So although they go against him, I say, well, would you resist the temptation? See what I'm saying? Would you resist that temptation? Lead by example. That's it. And no matter what they say about him, he has never came at anybody. Because when you stand on truth, you need nothing else. What do you need when you stand on the truth? Nothing. And that's what we got to teach our people. Let's start getting them while they're young.
Yeah.
Get them while they're young. I hear it all day long. I hear this stuff constantly over and over and over again about what these young cats are doing, what these young cats is doing. I said, I understand, but they victims. They're basically victims of what is happening. You had your hand up, bro?
Oh yeah, no, I was pretty much going to say with the same thing you said. I think the only way you could defeat the media is by provide your own media. You know what I mean, counteract it with the same thing. You know what I mean, pushing the same images out. You know what I mean, it was on the same accord. You fight media with media. It's a double-edged sword. It can be against you or for you. You know what I mean, but you just got to utilize it for your people, for your purpose.
And that's what I said. This is why I had to come back to radio, because I seen it. I'm like, and the beauty of it, if you ever watch my show, you can actually see us in the studio, what we do. And if you ever watched my show, you will actually see I always have either the Universal Zulu Nation banner behind me, or I have Africa Been Body. I won't have no poster like that behind me saying Gotti. If you had a Nat Turner up there or Marcus, so I'll rock that. You know what I mean? But look what is happening. So when you have those images out here now in their minds, even in Africa, they're looking at you as that. Oh, really? What? What? That's what they're about? So now when the cops see that, they say, okay, you what? So now a cop see you with a hoodie on, automatically what he thinks of? Great Robbie. Images. Because that's what they put out there to everybody. He's a drug dealer. I'm just like, no, they're the drug dealers right there. And I'll go right to your corners. See that's where it says pharmacy? That's the drug dealer right there. See how, I'll go to those and say, that's the drug dealer right there. See pharmacy right there. They sell more drugs than a little bit. My boy was one of those guys that sold that stuff. He said, you know I'm a drug dealer, right? He showed me all the stuff in his trunk and said, yeah, I'm a drug dealer. Here it is right there. But we understand in media, they say this is the drug dealer. And everybody high off of drugs anyway, too. Everybody on drugs.
Food is a drug.
If you use sugar, white sugar was classified as a drug.
Yeah.
We used to sell it to Europeans. Where do you think Domino sugar come from? You know what that mean? Domino?
Nah.
Dominica.
Oh, yeah.
Dominican Republic. We sold the sugar to the Europeans. So what did? They reversed it on us, now we use it.
And everything.
And everything. Wanna know why you got cancer? Because it thrives off of that. Remember I just told you earlier what the girl was doing this morning?
Yeah.
How unconscious she was. She was buying her children Little Debbie's cheese Danishes 7:30 in the morning to get ready for school. See what I'm saying? Like, they'll do this, and I know they ain't the first time.
No, that's every day.
Every day she was doing this, right? She was going to the Chinese people, and we're going to them, and 35 cents for a Little Debbie, put it in your bag. I'm like, what the heck is this? Like, imagine that going on and piled up of sugar, and then you're going to tell a child to sit down at 12 o'clock at lunch?
Off the hook.
So who do we blame? Do we blame them? No.
We gotta blame us.
We blame us.
See, it's easy to blame somebody because the accountability then no longer comes. We ascribe ourselves for the accountability, and that's one of the biggest problems that I have is that we're, just like what you were saying earlier, how a lot of us will sit there and talk about it. When it comes down to putting our money where our mouth is, or stepping up to the action and actually doing something about it, that's when we step to the side and try to see.
My cat in the tree, man. I can't come right now, man.
Yeah.
You have that type of, oh no, well I had to go pay this last week because I just told you what happened in New York with the Zulu Nation. Everybody was there. They didn't complain about anything, and I'm losing my mind because I complain from flying from one spot to the next, and my flights be $400. If I ain't paying for it, if I pay for it, I'm complaining. But they paid $1,400 to fly somewhere. See what I'm saying? So my thing is like, I was always told, I remember when I was in Cali, they said a person invest in themselves. You know what I mean? They were saying something about the money, how people will pat you on your back and say, yo, that was a great speech, man. Or such and such. You don't need that. You don't need the accolades. You need the finance to do what you need to get done. And people put their money where their mouth is. And this is what she said to me. She used to be, what you call those people? She was a publicist for somebody out there in Cali. And this is what I'm seeing with our people. We don't do that. We don't do that. But we got a politician will come in and sell you a dream and say we're going to do X, Y, and Z. And we'll say, yo, we're going to put up this money. Or a church minister will come and say, we're going to put up, God needs money. That's the crazy part. God needs money. You know what I mean? And we'll give it.
Didn't that guy in the White House just do that and apologize?
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
But see, this is the problem. Europeans do stuff to us too, and they apologize, and we okay.
Oh yeah, definitely.
You follow me? It's the same thing. Again, like the sister said from Ethiopia, you wasn't here. She said they still in the cradle. Our people still in the cradle. And then the other thing, we have too much mucus on our brains, so we definitely can't think. All the meat we eat and all the sugar we eat, it build up mucus in your brain. So what the heck, you can't even think straight. So this is why they got all this other stuff coming at you. So you have stuff constantly coming at you,
Called
see what I'm
full
saying?
spectrum dominance.
Yeah, you got all this other stuff coming at you. You ain't even one thing straight. So when I come, you looking at me like, I don't. That's too much. That's hard. I don't know. I don't want that. Can I go over here and point the blame at somebody else because they enslaved us and they didn't treat us right? They didn't educate us right? No. Do you know that you was the original fathers and mothers of civilization? The first teachers? Let's teach that. Like I said, you don't have to condemn that dirty glass and sit the clean one up. But all these cats that look like you and I are not really for us.
Yeah.
They're not for us. I watch it all day long. I only been in Philadelphia for almost 2 days. And I'm just watching a politician. I just turn on the news and I get so damn mad. I'm like, what the hell? He's lying. He's lying. And I'm like, he's lying too. I'm like clicking through channels literally and they talking about politicians. And I'm like, what is this? People still believe this in 2013?
Yeah.
You literally still believe this dude? But let me try to get over there and talk to them. He said, oh, no. We ain't in the office today, yo. Oh, you know, we can't, we get a rain check. Crazy stuff. Out of all the stuff that I know and I do and the connections that I have, and that brother tell you the connection I have, they would say, we don't, we're going to act like we're busy right now. We don't want, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is what is happening. So again, I don't blame these young cats, man. I don't. No violence from Wednesday to Sunday. One day on BET Awards, you got Negroes fighting in the back in the hallway because some bull. Every year, it never fails. If you watch this so-called BET Awards, which I call fashion show, because they ain't beating no hip-hop awards, they're battling with each other, and they shutting it down. But yet, you had real hip-hop, and no violence was going on. If you go look at the footages and look at the pictures, you will see how many people was in there. Everyone who stepped on somebody's foot said, peace, sorry, bruh. I told you we have a slogan in the Zulu Nation. Come in peace or leave in pieces. That's how it is. Come in peace. It's peace, love, unity, and having fun. That's all this is about. But we got to start teaching that. But no MTV was there. No BET was there. No Hot 97 was there. No Power 99 was there. None of that. None of it. Didn't get covered. 39 years it's been going on. It ain't get covered. But you call yourself hip-hop and R&B. But you didn't come pay respect to the pioneers. We trying to show you that's the clean glass right there. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's the clean glass of water. And I said I was going to blast everybody when I get back to the radio about that, what took place. I've been going there for 5 years and I haven't seen nobody. You may have somebody arguing, but it ceased right there. That's it. It stopped there. These are ex-gang members, most of them in the Zulu Nation. But they all in the Zulu Nation. You follow me? All of them. But we ain't gonna kill each other. I'm trying to show the image. That's why I put the videos out there. Every time they come up on YouTube, we put it out there to the world. We just had somebody in Saudi Arabia looking at the Zulu anniversary. We was like, here, this is what we do over here. But if they're looking at this all day long about we're killing each other and we doing this, they said, well, these Negroes are animals. Like, what the hell? And that's why a cop can shoot a brother in the street and don't care and nothing else happens.
They got people shooting brothers in the street nowadays.
Nothing, because you numb. There's another part in the movie. Let me say this real quick. In 12 Years a Slave, when he was hanging, he was fighting. Something happened in the movie, and I don't want to give too much with Dave because he's going to see it. But he was hanging in a tree, and they left him there because he did something to a European. And the slave masters, one of his workers came back to oversee it and chased the Europeans away, but they wanted to hang the brother. And he's hanging there. Everybody, all the Negroes was in the house. He hung up there probably all day long. You know what they did? Everybody started coming out doing everything that they've been doing. Playing little, and it's so deep how he did it.
It is.
The children in the background was playing. He's hanging on his tippy toes, trying to, you know, not to hang himself, but the kids in the background playing, the people coming out here, moving around, working. The same thing that happens out here. Yeah. Oh, he got shot? Yeah, for real? Get out of here. Yeah, you know who got killed today? Yeah, man, he got slumped around. This is us.
Somebody gave him a cup, though.
Huh?
Somebody gave him
It is. He snuck and did it. But what I'm trying to say in the movie is what is happening now. So when you get shot or somebody get killed, it's nothing. Yep. Just listen to the conversation sometimes. You say, yo, he got killed. Really? Get out of here. Guess who got killed today? Yeah, he got lit up, dude.
And that's exactly
our attitude today. See what I'm saying? How we caught.
Bob got killed.
Yeah, he got killed. I remember when I was little, somebody got shot. I said, what? Get the hell out of here. It was a shock.
It's been going on for years.
It's a shock back then. But now it's like it's the norm.
Cognitive dissonance.
There you go. And that's what he was showing in the movie. Whether people peep that or not, this is what we're going through. This is what is happening.
So in other words, 12 years a slave. It's showing us that we're still slaves.
We still slaves. Listen, dude, I say this all the time. The game is the same, but the players are different.
Yep.
The game is the same, there's different players in it. All this stuff is the same. You thinking that you out of that, but you're not really out of it. We just gave him a job. Only because of affirmative action we gave him the job. That's why I'm against it. I'm against affirmative action. You're supposed to get a job on your creativity. That's why KRS-One used to say create a job. Stop begging for a job. Create your job. So what we do, like my cousin did, he create the belts. Create the job. See what I'm saying? And eventually when he do what he do, instead of everybody paying $300 for a belt and complaining about Barney's, you can buy a belt for $20 and then he'll have jobs for somebody in the future. That's how it go.
It's that group economics.
There you go. See what I'm saying? So you complaining about Barney's, about them suing. No, I never knew what a Barney's was. I ain't even gonna lie to you. I don't know what a Barney's was. I said $300 for a belt. Are you serious? I'm sitting there like, my nephew had a $300 pair of sweatpants, so I asked him, was they bulletproof? I mean, I'm just like on some, this is just me. I'm just trying to figure, but the priorities, man. But your children home with no food, but yet you got $300 pair of pants on, or you got a $300 belt. But this is how the European plays. Now we're gonna see your IRS, we wanna see your tax records now.
Yeah.
Everybody black that comes in now, we want to see your tax records and see if you can make that much money. I said, this is some nigga stuff. But we're going to go right back in there again. I can show you the Chinese community.
Right.
I can show you the Japanese community. I can show you Koreatown. That's a community. We don't have it. There's no such thing as black community. You go out here tomorrow and ask, what's their nationality and see what they say. Want to say American, black, colored, black, colored, American, United States, Christian, Muslim, all this crazy stuff that ain't got nothing to do with nothing. But you're saying you got a community.
Yeah.
That's not a community. Again, education is the key. There's no such thing as a black community. We don't even have nothing in common. And if we had a community, we wouldn't have Chinese people in our community selling us anything. You follow me? So how do we have a community? We don't. I'm just being real.
No. I totally agree with you.
We have neighborhoods.
You know,
we don't have communities.
I don't even call them neighborhoods anymore. I say they're hoods. Not too neighborly.
Well, but that's true too. But we got to teach our people what a community is. And community means common unity. We got to have something in common. See what I'm saying? We got to teach the people that. We are Moors. We already home. This is our land. So that's all we got to do is teach. Teach it. That's why we're losing. They're not, the young people out here are not crazy. They're just looking for guidance. They're looking for somebody to guide them. That's it. And they've been lied to by media, period.
Lied to by everybody.
Period. By politicians, by radio, by TV, the whole 9 yards. I'm in Hollywood and I see how they manipulate people. I was on sets when he was doing things. And I'm like, that's wrong.
Right off the Barnary sub-stop, Philadelphia, PA. Shot so loud you would think it was a club spot. African Americans, although we all over the web, we the hood librarians. We ship to prisons too. We reach out and deliver to those that's bitten too. But it's more than a bookstore. You wonder we got it, mixtapes, DVDs, and culture products. BlackandNobel got our hands in a lot of projects. We welcome all to come build. The energy is positive. Every member of the team is awake and conscious. Come through and experience this place of knowledge. They say they'll put it in a book if they wanna hide it from us. But we got them books so you can buy it from us. Something to read while you on a train or riding the bus. Get your read on, food for thought, get your eat on. BlackandNobel,